Hello everyone, I'm Lori. Welcome back to Milkweeds and Roses. It is a beautiful spring day. The sun is out, gentle breeze, birds are busy. Yeah, it's spring. Although it hasn't really felt like that with the temperature here in my Zone 5B garden going up, going down, mostly down. I think it got down to 25 degrees last night. So goes to show you can't really just count on the calendar when it comes to checking off the boxes of some garden tasks to do. But there is one thing I know I need to get started right now because the plants themselves are showing me it's time, and that is rose pruning. Rose pruning to start the new season so the plants are vigorous and really get off on the best foot, so to speak. So the reason I know it's time is because I see a lot of the roses that I have now are coming out of dormancy. And if you check yours, you'll notice that too, depending on what zone you live in. But in my zone, here in the Midwest, you'll see some of the shoots coming up from the roses. You'll see some red buds starting to swell along the stems. And you'll also notice some winter dieback. So rather than have the rose try to push through that, it's best to help them out a little bit. So this is the time for checking over the plants thoroughly and getting rid of winter dieback, especially important for climbing roses. I've got a few good examples to show you, and also time to relaunch a little experiment that I did. Okay, are you ready? Let's go.
Starting here at the easternmost edge is Lady in Red. Now you can see a lot of winter dieback here. The brownness of the canes, and then some swollen red buds that are starting to emerge. So the winter dieback goes all the way to where those buds are emerging, like there. If I cut it just above that to cut off all the dead, then that's healthier for the plant. I'm eyeing that cane in the background there. I'm not liking the looks of that one either, to be honest. But at least that's a healthier start. So then I look back here. A lot of this depends on the timing. Like if it's really early, it takes a while to get the color into the cane. But this is a nice healthy cane all the way up until, wait a minute, I don't really like the looks of that one. There's a red bud cut right above that. Okay, then we're getting rid of all of the winter dieback. That one's a little scrawny and it's internal. That one too, going the wrong direction, and it's smaller than a pencil. It's not going to hold a bud either way. And then, well, that also is pretty dead all the way up. There was some rabbit dabbage on the other side, so I take that one out. Again, opening up the base, the crown of this plant is a little bit better. There's a dead winter cane, and look at the middle here. See how it's brown and hollow on the inside, so it's that's a sign that it's some winter dieback. But the green cane that remains, nice, big, vigorous, with shoots coming up, following it all the way up. Yep, still pretty good. But the tip of that one actually has some dieback, so I have to pick a spot that I would prune it back to. Now this one, Wedding Dress, which I think is the name of this one. I put it in long ago and didn't save the name tag, but it always is vigorous. I just cut off the spindly bits, really, and because it's so vigorous, cutting off the branches that are growing inside and congesting it, causing some rub with the thorns and some damage, which just invites insects. We don't want it to be vulnerable. We want her to stay strong. So mostly just cleaning out all of the spindly, smaller than a pencil stems and opening up the crown. Now there's some winter dieback as well, and plus it's pretty spindly. So I'm better off just cutting that at the base, giving it a nice flush. These Princess Alexandra of Kent, she doesn't look real good. Princess Margaretta has some growth at the base. She'll probably be a little bit stronger plant, so I'll keep her in there, but I'm not sure about Kent, the Princess Kent. Now this one, my other unnamed rose, which is my favorite rose, does have some winter dieback. You can see that, especially at the base. So I'm taking out that dead old cane right there that's moving. Yeah, not looking really good. But again, examining the whole thing, a lot of dieback on this one. So taking out the spindly and following it farther up. There's some growth. If I cut too conservatively where the bud is growing, that's probably better. And this is not Henry Kelsey, despite what the sign says. That actually goes on my rose in another garden bed. But this rose looking a little bit better. So cleaning off just to prune. These are both strong shrub roses. All right, and clear off again an older cane. How about cleaning that right to where the bud is growing? Help it bush out a little bit there. And that, the cane in the back doesn't look real good either, and it's spindly, so I'm just taking that out. You'll notice still a lot of yard debris, leaves on this. Now see the nice strong shoots, so I leave that. Now this is a relatively new rose. I mean, by that I think this is her 3rd year now, and she is pretty vigorous as well. So I'm pleased with how her growth is coming. This might be the year that she can actually flower all the way across the top of the arbor. I'm optimistic. I bend the canes down to promote stem growth along the horizontal, because the stem growth along the horizontal will bring flowers. She'd be happy to grow up to 20 feet tall straight up, but that doesn't help put flowers. And this is my experiment here. So this is Bassie's Purple. I sunk it in a pot because of all of the root competition from the maple and the evergreens behind her. So it's time to take her out, prune her up, and see what we're working with here.
Now, I put that rose in the ground. I'm trying to think back. I'm looking at some of my records. I think it's been at least 3 years. And I put it in the ground at the time because of all of the root competition here, from the white pine in the background, the pines on the other side of the fence from my neighbors, beautiful trees, and my stately, old but showing her age, old maple tree. I mean, she's like 70 years old, according to an arborist, but she's hanging in there, and she's kind of protected in this spot. Maples are beautiful, love them, but they do put a lot of root competition with fine webbing throughout the soil, and it's hard to grow things underneath it. So a rose wouldn't have much of a chance unless I found a way to protect its root zone as it grew to maturity. I got that rose when it was just dormant. I mean, sticks, right? It was just a bare root rose. But I planted it in that pot and sunk the pot in the ground, and for 3 years watched it thrive. But I realized, really all the nutrients, it needs some fresh soil. It needs more room to grow, possibly. So I took it out of the pot and replanted it with some fresh soil and some nutrients, not a bunch, but some nutrients there, just to give it a free roam, hopefully, so it'll get us a little more vigor. Now, hopefully the area around it won't have tree roots suck right into it again. We'll see what happens. I'll keep an eye on it, but hopefully that rose has a good start. And it is pretty vigorous. Fingers crossed. That's it this time. Thanks for joining me here on Milkweeds and Roses. It's kind of nice to see the garden waking up. I love it. I'd like to see a few more consecutive days of nice weather like this, How about you? We've got work to do. Come on. Yeah, something to look forward to. This glass half full girl knows it's coming. So hang in there. We've got more gardening to do together. Thanks again for joining me. We'll see you soon.